Hey, welcome back to Miss White's math class. This is grade 10 math. We're graphing in Vertex form, which is 4.3 and 4.4. We're going to get some reps in, so I'd like you to practice. Now, here's my suggestion for how I think you should do this. You should be timing yourself for the first 3 questions. There's like 8 questions here, so there's a lot of questions that you can rep through. Okay, and then you're going to check your answers. There's a checklist at the very end of this worksheet, and you're going to go through with every single one of your graphs. Of those 3 graphs that you did, the first 3 graphs, check your answers and look at the answer sheet. Mark yourself. You're going to give yourself a mark out of 6. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to run through the first one, and then I'm going to talk about how you would mark it on your own. So if you want to skip to that part of the video, I'm going to put the link in the description box below, and then you're going to try to get faster. So once you've done the 3 and you know how long it takes you, you're going to try to do it a little bit faster. Okay, so let's say it takes you 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. All right, let's say it takes 15 minutes. So you know that it takes 15 minutes every single time. You want to get a little bit faster. Then you're going to set a timer and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do it 13 minutes. If you can't get it done in 13 minutes, that's okay. It's just something to be aware of. And as you go, you'll probably get faster as you do more reps. But if you don't, that's okay. Don't worry about it. That's something that you know for the test. You're going to allot yourself 15 minutes to do your graphing. If you don't get it done in 15 minutes, you're going to move on and then come back later. Okay. And that way you know for sure you've given yourself enough time to do that, because you don't want to be spending 20-25 minutes and then realize, oh my gosh, half the test is gone. So you got to be careful about that, just cognizant of time. Okay, so I'm going to run through question 1. I would prefer if you stop the video, don't watch the rest of the video, just do 1, 2, 3 on your own. But if you like, I'm just going to do question 1 so you can see how I do it, just in case you need a refresher, and then I'm going to mark it. Okay, so if you don't feel like you need to watch this, do not watch it. Feel free to use your time the way that you see fit. Okay, so for each of the questions below, state the transformations in order and then graph. So this is a very common question. We've done it already multiple times. So my transformations, I got, oh, sorry, I'm going to time myself. Right now is actually 11:01. So I'm going to time myself and see how quickly I can get it done. I am not really going to go for speed because for me, I know I'm fast, but I do want you to be able to know how long it takes for you. I'm probably going to go a little bit slower just so I can explain and talk it through, okay? Of course, if I'm talking too fast for you, remember you can change the settings on YouTube. You can go at half speed, you can go at 0.25 speed, make me really slow. That's okay too. Okay, so we're going to do the transformations first in order. This is going to be a vertical flip. You can call that a vertical reflection if you want to. We're going left 3, apologies. And we're going up 1. Okay, and so those are my transformations in order. Done. So we're going from left to right, 1, 2, 3, and writing them in that order. Okay, if you don't remember what those are, you got to go back and review it. And then we're going to draw the parent function. So parent function, remember we created that in 4.3. We were using a table of values. We're talking about x squared here. Okay, so you're just taking all the numbers and you're squaring them. Okay, and so negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0, right? So I'm just drawing these points, negative 3, 9, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 1, 0, 0. Those points are going into the graph. Okay, so I'm just putting those in, and you can continue onwards. I happen to know that 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, and we'll go up till whatever the graph gives us. Oops, I kind of missed that point there. Did I do it wrong? I think I might have done it wrong. Yep, I've got the point in the wrong place, so you can kind of see when you're graphing. I do have someone knocking on my door, so that's why I'm a little bit distracted, but we're doing a video for you guys, so we're going to ignore them. Y equals x squared, right there, okay? So you can see my graph is not very symmetrical, it's not very pretty, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all human, none of us are perfect, and you're going to have a little bit of an ugly graph. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to label my x equals 0 down here, and that's y equals x squared. I got my equation. Okay. Now I'm going to take all of these y values, I'm going to multiply them by -1 to get my, so I'm multiplying them by the a value, okay? So in this case it's -1, it's hiding the 1, and I'm just going to take these numbers, 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, and multiply them by -1. Of course, it was a -2, you multiply it by -2, or whatever number is there, okay? So, I'm getting all over the place, so 9 times -1 is -9. 4 times -1 is -4. 1 times -1 is -1. 0 times -1 is 0, and so forth. Okay, doing my best to make my dots nice and big. And then I'm going to go through in a curvy and attractive manner. We don't want any pointy vertices here. I'm going to label that y equals -x squared. Okay? And now I'm going to just take all of those new points that I just drew, and I'm going to move them left 3 and up 1. So going left 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Okay, so I'm just counting them out. I know you can't see my stylus, but I'm just counting each of these points. I'm taking this point here and going left 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Taking this point, left 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. This point, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. This point, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. This point, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. And then the last point, this point here, 1, 2, 3, and up 1. I lost my good stylus, so I don't know. Hopefully the graphs turn out okay. Oops, I don't want to go too... Okay, that was a little bit too much. So I want to go through all my points in a curvy and attractive manner, try my best. If I miss a point, I'm just going to make that point a little bit bigger. If it's way too off, then I'll have to erase. So you can use multiple colors if you want to, definitely not a requirement, so don't feel like you have to get colors or anything like that. I'm drawing my axis of symmetry all the way through, all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom, and I've got my vertex here. I'm going to label it -3, 1, okay, and then I'm labeling my axis of symmetry -3, okay? So now I'm going to check my work and see if I did well. Oh, sorry, I'm going to stop. It was 11:05, or sorry, 11:06. So that was about 5 minutes. Okay, remember, I've been practicing this for decades. So you will probably not be as fast as me. If you can get as fast as me, awesome, great, good for you. If not, don't worry about it. Everyone goes at their own speed. You got to know what you can do, okay? So don't feel like you have to do it in 5 minutes. If you can, that's amazing and awesome, but definitely not a requirement, okay? So I'm scrolling down looking for my checklist. For each graph, did you label the x and y axes? Label the equations of the parent graph, the transition graph, the final graph. Draw the axis of symmetry with a dotted line. Label the axis of symmetry at the bottom of the grid. Label the vertex. Make sure your vertex is curvy. If not, you're going to take off a half mark for each of those missing components, okay? So I'm going to go up and I'm going to go, look, did I do all these things? Did I label my x and y axes? No, I did not. So I should have labeled that part. I lost a half mark. So minus a half for that part. Did I label my equations? I labeled this one. I labeled this one. I did not label my last one. So minus 1 half mark. I labeled my vertex. I labeled my axis of symmetry at the bottom. And I think that was all the requirements, right? Oh, I have a dotted line for my axis. So I've got all those things. That's good. Okay, then I'm going to check your answer and ask yourself the following. Do I have the same number of graphs as the answer? If not, take off a mark for every missing graph. Do I have the correct points on the graph that are there? Of course, I don't have a graph to compare to. I'm making the answer key right now, but you'll have the answer key that I'm about to make. So you can see that I'm missing my... Oh, I got, okay, 3 graphs. That's how many graphs you should have. If you only have the first graph and not the other 2 graphs, let's say you just have the parent, you're going to take off 2 marks, okay? If you only have the final graph, a lot of people do that. They'll just do a table of values and then find the final graph. Then you're going to have to take off 2 marks, okay? If you just have the parent function and the final graph, then you're going to take off 1 mark. So every graph that you're missing, you're going to have to take off a mark. Actually, I'm just going to label this so it's done. So y equals negative x plus 3 squared plus 1. Okay, so I've got my labels. All right, so you're going to give yourself a mark out of 6. In this case, I got a 5.5 out of 6. Oh, sorry, a 5 out of 6. So it's not perfect, but I can practice and get there, okay? So that's how you would draw the graph. That's how you would mark yourself. Of course, you want to mark this as well. So this is like a half mark each. So actually, it's out of 7.5. So that's the that's how you would do that, okay? So I'm gonna stop the video and then I'm gonna continue the rest in time lapse. So if you would like to watch me do it in time lapse, you can, but if not, and I don't necessarily recommend it, feel free to stop the video and just continue on your own. And you feel free to email me any questions, okay? So I'll see you in class and good luck. Bye.